Hello, Andreas.
Hello, Roman.
I suggested to make a short video about what's going on between uh, two homeopaths who are discussing strange things. We started to discuss eclipse, sun eclipse, which is going to be at 30th of April. And can you share what happened to your computer right now?
Yes, I think just to explain, it was the thoughts, or should we do our symposium on this day? Yeah, it's not a nice feeling. So, so we were thinking about it, and then I said, yes, in astrological, I'm not an astrologer. What does it mean? Ah, yeah, it's bad luck. Somehow things will go wrong, and it's not the nicest time to do this. And then I said, yeah, what is the significance of this eclipse? Yeah. And I thought, there's also a remedy, eclipse. It's called eclipse. So we have soul as a remedy, but we also have eclipse. And I was once very successful, and I just said the word. This patient, she had recurrent pneumonias. She was very desperate. She had already many antibiotics, and sometimes they didn't work. So she felt she might die even if this goes on. So she had a vulnerability in her chest, in her lungs, and as soon as she got a cold, it easily went down to the lungs, and she felt, oh no, it's coming, no, no, oh no. So, and then she said, if this starts, it is as if the sun is switched off, everything is getting dark in my feeling inside, there's no light anymore. I feel as if suddenly everything goes dark. So I gave some remedies like nut soul for others, and they helped here and there. But the main remedy, which in the end finished the whole story, was eclipse. And it happened few times that she again had this feeling coming. It's like, oh, some dark day is coming, yeah? And she took the remedy and it didn't come.
Fantastic.
So this is a special experience I had, and it was really from the sensation where I thought, let's try it. And the moment I was talking to you about the feeling is of catastrophe, something is going to some death, some catastrophe is coming. My computer blanked out, not blanked out, got dark suddenly. You can't imagine. I was woo. And he made a new start. I can't imagine. Also, this was very special to experience this synchronicity. Yes, and even an eclipse is a synchronicity. So we have the synchronicity of a synchronicity and the synchronicity. So it's a doubling of these things. So you get goosebumps everywhere. Um, so we should do it. This was the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should do it
we
at
can do it.
30th of April. We do.
And we have to think of it that death and darkness is a part of our experience. And we have to
And
integrate
and
this.
we have to think about the possibility to hold the light even when it is absolutely dark outside. And
Yes.
the only light
Yeah.
we are responsible for is our inner light. And the only possibility to bring this light to the world is to be in conscious. And
Mm.
maybe it will be a very good topic for the
I'll
symposium.
tell you my other experience. Um, on the 11th of August, 1999. Yeah. So my last birthday of last millennium. Yeah. Was one of the biggest eclipse in Europe. I knew this quite long before, and I was a little bit shocked because everybody was preparing for this day, and it was my birthday. Yeah, and I planned to go to the place where I could experience the complete eclipse, which was you have to go a bit south. So I went to Belgium, which was the first place. So I started in the night went there to the Ardennes, and somewhere it was so rainy and wet, and for me it was those times I had been discovering natrium sulphuricum, and the theme of natrium sulphuricum is to um, opfern means to sacrifice. So you have ailments from injuries, ailments from head injuries, and all these things. And I did a lot of studies on natrium sulph and found out the main thing is a kind of sacrifice. So you experience something, your leg is cut off, your head is banged, you cannot talk anymore, you're walked in a wheelchair everywhere. So your whole life has stopped and changed into something else. And I took 10M, I think, many days before. And with this 10M, I went to that place. And my experience was going through so many wet and rain, and the whole travel to North Belgium was in a kind of natrium sulphuricum wet atmosphere. And I looked for a place in the woods, and I wanted to experience it alone, and it happened. So it is really very frightening. You sit there, and first thing is it is silent because all the noises, all the birds, all the nature stops. It's very calm in some way, but it's also dawning on you. It's going dark in the middle of the day. So the whole life is shocked because it's unexpected maybe for the most of them. And then you are for 20 minutes, I think you were in this darkness, and it's very, very, very frightening. And can you imagine where I found myself afterwards? Because I didn't see that before. After the sun came back, which is then the other side of the thing, you feel, oh, it's not the end of the world. It's coming again. It's a birth also. It has both aspects. And I was sitting on old military bunker, so like places where you are under the earth, so old buildings from the First World War. And I would put natrium sulph into that First World War, where you get amputated limbs, you got a lot of sacrifice, a lot of people. So it was always, and it didn't go. It was a psychotic war. It didn't go forward, and many people had to be sacrificed, and they themselves had to cut their legs. And I even have a patient who had an asthma, and his father had lost his leg, and in the Second World War, and he said his arm, and I was his arm. I helped him when working on cars. I was always his arm, so he was compensating his loss of the arm. So natrium sulph has this, and I got in contact with something. I think my grandfather was in First World War and has experienced something very bad. So I got in contact to that. That was sure. So this is my experience with, I think, natrium sulph, and it's a moon. You also know natrium sulph has this desire for moonlight. Yeah? So there's this night kind of thing with natrium sulph, and it's also the giving up of things, yes, and cleansing. It's a cleansing process with natrium sulph. You get diarrhea, and it's by sacrificing things, you also give away things. You clean so, and I think this eclipse has a similar energy. It's complementary in my understanding. So this is my story.
This is so interesting. We started to discuss the 30th of April as a symposium, heart and disease, and then this eclipse come to the story, and then you put it so nicely when the dark comes and everything stops, everything, and then there is a new beginning. Yeah, and it was a pause, and then it's a new beginning. So after every disaster, there is a new beginning. After every war, it will come peace. And we are so praying that it will come as soon as possible. And every old thing which is evacuated, which is thrown out, like in natrium sulfuricum example you made, will replace by something new. And it reminds me heart pumping, you know, there is a construction and then pause and then once more construction. So we are going to talk about heart and homeopathy. Heart is an organ which is so symbolic, and we have to learn from it so many things. After any, any war, any constriction, any artificial constriction will finished by something new, by reconstruction, by renovation. We talk about interesting rare remedies. Eclipse, I didn't hear before case of it. And this is so interesting. Once I had a case of one German engineer who married to Israeli woman, and their family lived here in Tel Aviv, and they have two wonderful kids. So he came to me with chronic inflammation of throat, severe, a lot of antibiotics, a lot of treatments, a lot of since childhood. So I took a case. It was quite interesting case. He was took by from his mother immediately after birth, and for first few days, it was very difficult for family, and especially for mother, to come to this place where these kids were, because of Berlin Wall. It happened in Berlin, and what was interesting that he described. I even published an article about it. He described an airplane built it from concrete. And for him, it was very important to become free and light. And when I asked to bring an example of it, so he said it could be an airplane, but it should be stable. And there were a lot of things of to be defended and to be undefended, to be protected and not to be protected. And so you told about this bunker from the First World War.
Yes.
Concrete. And this bunker should defend somebody inside. But somebody inside is shooting to those who are outside. And this throat inflammation, actually, we know that this is one of the first lines to protect organism from pathogenic microbes and microorganisms. So he received the Berlin Wall, and he forgot about inflammations, chronic situations, and it was a very nice case. And you see, from sun to Eclipse to natrium sulfuricum to Berlin Wall, and to the Symposium Heart and Disease, we invite all of you to be a part of this homeopathic event. Andreas?
Yes, and I would say, let us go to the symposium with a brave heart.
Absolutely, because
and go and don't fear the darkness.
And this will be a very good exercise to come together with brave hearts and with clear conscience and to be together. Thank you,
Yeah,
Andreas.
so we'll do it, yeah?
We will do it. Thank
Okay.
you very much.